Okay, it's going. It should give us a little thing in the corner that says we are now, meeting is now streaming live on Facebook. So,
Yes, is it up there?
it's up there. It's real. It's happening. So, woo, we made it.
We're live. 10 bazillion people are watching us.
It's happening right now. So today is Sunday. Happy Sunday. And it's another artist conversation. And this time it is with Tony, aka OKTONY, which is probably how most people know you on the internet. And we are here to talk about you and your artwork and being an artist. And for those of you who like don't know Tony, and Tony for all the space aliens and stuff that are existing out there that have no idea who you are and what kind of artist you are, can you just like introduce yourself and kind of talk about what kind
Where
of
I
art?
came from, what
Yeah.
rock I originally came from and landed off from.
Please.
Well, I'm from Connecticut. I'm a graduate from a very small college, an art college called Pear College of Art.
Okay.
I graduated with a BFA in illustration. And about a year since I graduated from Pear, I started doing little on and end jobs like murals and haunted houses. And then I started doing commercial things. I did toy design for Hasbro and Milton Bradley. And then I started doing art teaching for a while. And then I was into photography for a while. Then I started doing a series of paintings called parody paintings, which were depicting famous artwork that were I parody off of. So basically, it would be like, for example, if I had the Scream, Edward Munch's The Scream, and I would take like one of those little visors and this calendar that would say paint onto my version that would say April 15th, like tax day, and he'd be screaming about tax day and stuff. And I'd do a series of all that kind of artwork and stuff. And I don't want to say I got well known for that, but I got a rep for that. And I started doing shows and started doing merchandising. And then I ran a small circus and animation festival for a few years, and retired out to a little bit. Wouldn't say retired, but kind of semi-retired out to Minnesota land, and just enjoying it out here now. So yeah, so right now I'm just slowly making artwork just for myself now. So that's the whole scoop.
I already have like a lot of questions about like just the little bit that you told me, because like I don't know that if you've caught.
And that was just a little. I actually had a lot more because I'm just,
So, okay, a running theme that we have with all of these artist conversations is that almost every single artist that I talk to ends up having like 12 jobs.
Yeah.
Like it seems like you're like, in any capacity that I can be an artist, I go on my adventure of being an artist. And like you just went down, I feel like 5 different things that I was like, wow, I wish I could do that when I grow up. Whereas like you said murals, which is like, that's something that's very different than like, designing toys. That's very different than haunted houses. That's very different than all of those pieces.
Well, I can't hold a job. That's my problem.
Do you mean that like maybe they're just too boring for you?
No. Well, no. I wouldn't say boring. I just say there's something else over there that looks just as cool. So, I think I'll put that one on hiatus, and maybe it's been on hiatus too long, and I started doing something else. So, kind of felt better to try something different. And if I like it, I keep doing it. If not, go back.
So when you go on a new adventure, finding like new artwork and stuff, is it ever scary?
Oh, no, not really. No, I mean, I don't look for it. Usually just kind of finds me. And I'm more excited about it. And I go all the way into it and everything. And I just love to just fully do it. And a lot of times I don't know anything about it. So I would just kind of do a lot of either trial by error or just like, think like how it would be done or something, or even ask someone that I know that knows how to do something like that. Like one of the things I was really good at was getting press releases in the newspapers and magazines. I actually have a ton of press releases, Trapper Keepers, full of that stuff over there. And I was like, I asked a friend of mine, I says, hey, how did you get that article mentioned? You look great in it. And I said, I just, he gave me a short idea and I spun mine off of that a little bit and just do it. That's, I stole that from the Nike idea, just do it, because they were right, you just do it. And usually most of the time it works out. If it doesn't, so. Yeah.
So tell me some more of other things that you've done, because you you didn't stop there.
Oh, other things that I did that I've also done. I do filmmaking, but that's more of a hobby. It's probably the most expensive hobby you ever want to do. So I
So
want
that's
to go.
interesting that you're saying that that's the hobby when that's still an art thing, though.
Yeah.
Why is that one the hobby where everything else is not the
Well,
hobby?
I'm not actually really doing anything professionally about it. The only film festival I've ever submitted to was one of your local film festivals. It was, one of the Minnesota film festivals called Screaming Off Scream. And I found it because it's just like exactly funny, like how I like funny and stuff. It's like a parody of the Gong Show and stuff. It was like, everyone in the audience would, in like 15 minutes or something, it was like a 10-minute something. If the video wasn't, no one really liked it, they could yell out gong, gong, and it was such a cluster F. And I loved it so much. And that was the only film festival I really ever submitted to. So the other ones I do is that, and I just mostly just show stuff online, And I didn't really start doing filmmaking until like maybe about like 10 years ago. Even though that seems like a long time ago, it's not really much for me. So, plus I'm just making art for myself now. Even the paintings I'm doing, I have a few paintings here that don't really show too much.
So some of your artwork, and I know we'll get to it soon, but like you have a really good sense of play in like the work that I've seen of yours. And like when you were talking about the parody and everything of that you kind of run with like, trying to hit people's humor levels in some regard. At least I hope I'm saying this right.
That's fine. Yeah, no, you're perfect. Yeah, it's great. I love it. Yeah, it works. It's right.
And I don't think that, to me, I think humor, like especially in any type of artistic discipline, is one of the hardest things that you can do. Because like if you like when you're like intentionally trying to be funny, like that is such a vulnerable position to be like, I am making something that's humorous, and then like you really need to have that audience participation to be able to engage and like be like, here is the funny, now you create the laughter. And if you create the funny and there is no laughter, then like the joke's not there. And that's such a hard thing. It's the whole sad clown, and like how a lot of comedians have like a lot of flip of depression issues and things like that. But like you, first off, I think you do it really well. And then the other thing is like for how long that you've been doing this type of artwork that has this sense of humor, like does it get harder every single time? Does it get easier? Like how do you stay in this playful vein?
It's just a natural thing for me, for the playfulness. I actually have a few more ideas for parodies I actually gotta paint out to. I haven't done a parody painting in a while, but there's some ideas I gotta do. But you were mentioning before, like how people will react to certain stuff. Will it be funny? Will they find it funny? And there's some paintings I've done that some people don't find funny. And some of them are a little hardcore, like maybe, not really for everybody. some of them are just, people are just way overreacting. Like one thing, I did a version of The Last Supper, Da Vinci's The Last Supper.
Mhm.
It's called The Last Sausage, and I'm not even sure if it's on my gallery there, but they're all staring at the last sausage like they wanted it and stuff. And one show, I've had so many people would complain that there were too many people in there. Like I didn't have the right number of people. And I'm actually pretty precise on getting the right things in there exactly from the original painting. But everything was right, and a lot of people complain about it, religious types. But the painting was bought by a priest, actually. So it's all different on what people think it is. And like I was saying before, of different titles and different, subject matter about parodies and stuff. I don't know. I don't know how to keep talking about all this and
No,
stuff. It's like
no,
crazy because it just comes naturally to me. I have a painting I'm thinking about doing about Frida Kahlo of the one where the title is called she's a poor hit deer, and there's some arrows going through her as a deer, her head on a deer. I'm changing that around where instead of arrows, she's getting hit by a car, like a deer getting hit by, so there's a lot of dark humor in it too. And then there's Rembrandt's, I don't remember the name of the painting, but it's where everyone's gathered around the operation table, and there's a guy on the slab, they're operating on him. Cavity Sam, you probably don't know what Cavity Sam is, but Cavity Sam is the guy, the character on the operation game. And he's going to be on the operation table with Rembrandt's style and everything, and all the bookwork, make sure that maybe a little tweety stuff. So it's all different and stuff like that. But
See, that's funny to me. I find all of those things to be funny, even with that little bit of dark humor that's in it. Like, I mean, but when you have like your audience, like, does your audience help move you into more of this direction in some ways? Or like when you get that feedback of people that, they don't get the joke, essentially?
Yeah, actually, I do love feedback from people. I'm actually hoping to screen chat some of those people that say stuff on the whatever side say this. I can hear some of it because I love to hear positive, negative feedback on what is funny and not what they think of it, because it may give me some ideas or something, And I love hearing people saying about it. Some people just don't like words in artwork, like they hate words in artwork. Oh, I don't like it, but the other person's friend will be saying, but you gotta look at this painting, it's actually really good. It's actually offensive. No, I don't like words in artwork. No artwork in words. Or no words in artwork. Oh, some people, I'm trying to remember some things. Oh my God, what can I say? Oh, and now if I actually think about, an hour later, I'm gonna say, oh man, I should have said about that guy who just said that one thing. Oh,
But I mean,
Washington Square in New York City, when I was doing art festivals there, I can't begin to tell you some of the comments and you know, I can't remember. There was one time, there's one. I don't know why this came in my head. I had a small little painting, nothing crazy, right on the below part of the wall that I had, and it was called "Spin the Bottle with Ethel," and it was just a little old lady with a bottle with these big red lips as a painting. Nothing really funny, just a cute, whimsical thing. That's another thing. I would do quick, cute, whimsical thing, or sad things as well. This little girl, like about little girl, like knee high, just walks up to it and stares at it for like a long time, a long time. I'm not talking about only like 10 minutes, but I'm not talking about an hour long either, but it's like somewhere in between. And I guess her father just decides to buy it afterwards, but it was so weird. It was like one of those paintings that never sold, because I kept it on the bottom because no one else really was going to look at it. except for that little girl. Look at this. Look at this. I'm doing a Trump impersonation. That's another thing I gotta let people know about my hands, is that I have something called a familiar tremor. So when you see me, you look at my hands and how they shake. But when I move, and I paint and stuff, and draw, they're fine. But when I'm saying, hey, I shake. So everyone's looking at me like, oh my God, this guy could draw, he did that, but you can see it a little bit in my artwork, but it's funny.
With that little girl, like sometimes when I talk to buyers that buy artwork, like at our shows and stuff, like it's always the people that if they're sitting there and they're hemming and hawing, it's like, are you going to go home tonight and think about this piece? And if they say yes, then I'm like, it's probably time for you to buy it then. Like it's time for you to go home, because even for myself, for artwork that I buy, like if I still think about this piece of artwork that I saw in San Francisco, that like I was sitting there between two pieces and I was like, I want this one and this one, but I only had enough room in my suitcase for one. And then I went home and I was like, I should have just bought both. Like I should have just mailed it to myself, and like I'll never be able to find it again. And it's like, once you find art that like speaks to you, like as corny as that says, like you want it to stay with you forever. Like that feels
No,
right.
I know exactly what you mean, and that's a lot of things with a lot of magical incidents that happen, I've noticed with artwork and writing and stuff. And um, there was a bookstore I used to go to a lot, and it was a used bookstore. Wasn't even a store. It was all free. It was a very unusual bookstore in New Haven, Connecticut, and um, there was some couple from some other country that found some book that hasn't been published in years, and they just happened to found it randomly right there in one of the piles at this bookstore. And they were like saying, oh my God, this is so important to us. We needed this, and it meant so much to them and everything. So I know what it means to and I've seen the look in people's eyes, and I've had people come up to me or someone says, hey, did you know who that artist was that was next to you and stuff? I really liked his or her artwork and stuff. How do I contact them? So a lot of socializing was done with that too. One good thing years ago about marketing, I just wanted to say this because this was very funny, that when the internet was younger, when the internet just started, and I had a website out, and you were able to have websites, that were, geared to your artwork, as everyone else does. But we would have a link page, an actual page that would just be called links, and we would swap links. Artists would swap links. Galleries, museums, whatever places would swap links with each other, and we would promote each other a lot more that way too. And my store back then was a lot had more heavier traffic then too, as well as the links, and so I was able to do that. So that was interesting. I wish there was some way we could reduce maybe some of the I don't know, the whole monotony of the whole internet now and stuff, like we were saying about Facebook before and how big it is. And I didn't even know until just recently that the guy who owns Facebook is the guy who also owns Instagram.
Yep. Yeah. And so when you said that, like we're still in the midst of building a website and for the Otherworldly Arts Collective. And this is what happened, is that we started building it, was ready to go. And then COVID hit and I was like, now our website is obsolete. And then I was like, okay, well, as we adjusted to COVID, it was like, okay, we're starting to get into this run and like whatever. And we're trying to figure out what it is for like kind of more of a virtual space. And then like, as we started going, we're like, oh, it's going to cost us a lot of money that we don't have right now. That's a bummer. And then like, as the vaccine started coming out, now we're like, how are we going to do that? But we've been talking about that, like what you're saying, like when the internet was young, like I remember like going to like, I don't know, like I probably had like 500 websites that I like wrote down or bookmarked and stuff of like
Yes.
random things I would go to. and having link pages like that to like certain places. And we've talked about trying to do that for our artists, you know, and like really a good portion of them don't have websites. They only have Facebook or Instagram or like another social media platform instead of an actual website. So do we link everything back to Facebook? Like we go back and forth, but like I don't know if I know that we haven't known each other very long, Tony, but like I don't know. I've gotten banned off social media so many times. It drives me nuts because like I'm just trying to use it as a promotional tool for artists. Like I'm not trying to do anything else with it. That's what I am. And then they just put me in Facebook jail, as I put it, or in a timeout, or send me a little reminder that says that like, oh, you can't post anything for whatever. And I yearn for that yesteryear of
Yeah.
like websites of being that easy. And we're still trying to figure out what that is, because like it's still, I am using this free service on Facebook that is a platform that still gets me connected to everyone. It is still a useful tool for my artists and my shows to use. And I don't know, you know, like I want it to be that way again, you know,
The
but
trouble is that I think that everyone is also, there's also a lot of spin-offs now of all these other social medias, and it's just getting all confusing because now everyone's telling me to join this one because it's going to be better than Facebook, and then join this one. And I'm like, I can't even keep track of this one too, you know? So there was one website that was kind of interesting. I'll have to find it again. I don't remember. It was called All My Links, maybe it was called, but it was just basically one page that you added all your links from all your sites. You know, if you had your website, your Facebook, your Wikipedia, your Instagram, your everything like that. You could put it all down there. So if you wanted to say, hey, and my all my links site that said like Tony Giuliano, artist, you know, it may not have everything, but you could choose which one of your 10 bazillion websites you want to look at. Let's say Joe Schmo says, oh, I like going to danielpebbles.com website. Well, because she has all the great artists there and stuff. And since Tony is also a member on danielpebbles.com, so I'm going to check him out. So maybe, I don't know. I still think there's just way, way too much options.
sorry, I was checking the Facebook commentary. I'm still having some issues, everyone that's commenting on the live stream right now. And Tony and I will take a look at it afterwards, but I'm trying to catch. So Eli just asked if we can see some of their art. And so I'm going to share my screen, Tony, if we can actually get to your real artwork. Do you want to start on your Instagram or do you want to start on your website?
Let's start on my website since we're already talking about my website.
Okay, let's go there. Sorry, seconds.
Oh, that's not it.
That is not it. There we go.
Oh, wait, oh, there we go. Hey, I know that guy.
So
wow, I have some of his stuff in my room actually.
Weird. So I should probably start in the beginning so people, if they come here, this is what Tony's website looks like.
Remember, it's OKTONY.com. Real easy site to remember. OKTONY.
All right, where should we go first?
Ooh, let's go to gallery. And let's go. Yeah. Oh, that's another thing. Just you go to the back button. I don't know why. Not the best way. Go hold on to gallery. There you go.
Paintings?
Painting sounds good. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now this is most of these are all acrylics and canvases and stuff. Well, obviously paintings. Never dabbled in watercolor. Most of them are parodies. You know, and stuff that's sold marked these cans. You can actually click on one.
Here, I'm going to go to this one first because
I'll give you a description.
I've
had a person told me about this one saying that that they said it's the most saddest thing they've ever saw. And then another one said, well, maybe the aliens need kittens too. You know, we got plenty of them down here.
Yeah. So, this is a good insert for me to say to spay and neuter your pets, everyone.
Yes.
It's very important. You know, I know that Mars needs kittens too, but spay and neuter your pets. So how big are these paintings? How big is this?
Well, this one's 24 inches by 48 inches. I try to put, sometimes it's hard to tell, but on the bottom it's written, Marcy's crayons, acrylics on canvas, 24 by 48 sold. I sold that actually to a friend of mine named Bill. I don't know if he
Nice.
wants me to use his full name. He's a filmmaker too, actually.
And this is the one that you had mentioned before that you had done.
Yes, the April 15th. Yeah. I actually had a huge G-clay print of that for a very ritzy gallery in Connecticut. And the print, the giant print, pretty much the same size as this, sold for like $3,000 at an auction.
Nice.
Yeah. So it all depends. Like I said, the connections you need, if I was there and it was just my paintings, yeah. So accountants love this one.
So
am I yelling too loud?
No, you're fine.
Oh, okay.
So one of the members of the Otherworldly Arts Collective, Jackie Platt, is an accountant.
That's the one I should have given to.
Yeah, and like I should definitely say that like this is the time of year that we just want to give cupcakes and kittens to Jackie Platt. That's what we want to give Jackie Platt right now. So maybe when it's not this time, we'll throw it that way.
Never had anything against accountants. My dad's an accountant. Oh, hey, put the spam on. You guys have your spam factory here, right?
The Spam Museum, I was just talking about that with someone, and I was saying how I've never been, because I didn't grow up here in Minnesota. I actually grew up in California. Juan and I are both from San Diego. And okay. I am a huge Monty Python fan, even though it's been a bit. And like, with the lockdown and stuff, I really haven't left a ton of my house. And then I think like a couple of weeks ago, I was like, if the museums start opening up, I feel like I'm safe enough to put on a mask and not touch anything and just look and like peruse through and go. And I was looking up the Spam Museum because I was like, it's kind of a trek, because I think it's somewhere like maybe an hour or two south around there. Have you been?
No, I haven't. I actually just moved to Minnesota about maybe like 3 years ago. And my wife's into Spam, Monica. And it's kind of a trek too, yeah. Not too sure. I don't know how big the Spam Museum is, because a lot of museums could be not as big as everyone thinks they are. I've actually seen people have their houses opened up and official as a museum because they have a lot of old and obscure stuff. So, like, what was it? I don't know if you could see in the background. I made that doll. You really can't see it. My wife likes what's that called? The Annabelle doll stuff, that horror stuff.
Yeah.
And not the Bates, Warren Bates. No, darn it, I can't remember their names. The family that does The Exorcist actually are from Connecticut, and their house is opened up as a museum as well. So that was interesting. I mean, I didn't go in, but it's interesting that they but yeah, I guess I wouldn't mind. We should all go together as an artist field trip.
We were talking about that too. Like I was like maybe in the spring, because like I think we're gonna have to push out the Unicorn Art Show, unfortunately. But like,
yeah,
if we can get it into summer, then maybe we should just put it into summer, and like hopefully by then more people will be vaccinated and feel more comfortable. But like that doesn't mean that we couldn't have a nice outdoor picnic with like our own blankets and just shout at each other from far away and be like, "Show me your artwork!" So sorry, I got a lot of puppies around here.
Puppy dogs.
Okay,
actually, you know what? I would like to show something up. You could scroll up to go back to the gallery.
Sure.
And go to Forgot to Laugh. I was going, and this is COVID's fault. I blame this on COVID. Like I said, I used to run a circus and animation festival. I was a producer, and I would do like half live performers, like contortionists, yo-yo performers, knife throwers, all this stuff. And in between each act, I would have animated shorts from Nina Paley, Bill Plimpton, Billy Blob, everybody, local animators and everything. And it was actually a really big success in Connecticut and New York. At least I think it was. I know a lot of people do actually. And I was actually going to have one on July at the Parkway and everything. I got all the performers lined up and everything, all local performers, everything. But COVID just killed it. So we're just playing away game. So, you know, so yeah, so basically that's what I did and everything. But that was fun. I actually would do everything there. And that killed me. That would kill me. I did the posters and program guides. I would gather all the talents. I would put all the video work together. I would do the press releases and everything. So, but I loved it. I enjoyed it, you know, so.
I really want to click the play button on here, Tony. I
Go
don't know
for
if
it, sure. All the animators gave me permission, so don't worry about it, sure.
I don't even know if it's going to come through properly, but and everyone can like check it out afterwards too.
Yeah, you guys could go check it out too.
I just like, I'm going to just bounce it around. Look at that. Sorry.
No, it's okay. No. And usually the animations are about like, you know, anywhere from, you muted yourself. I just saw that.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I don't mind.
I always have foster dogs and everything in my house, and like, so
I have no problem with Poochie's talking. That's fine. They can have their opinions. That's fine. No, but most of the animations are like, you know, either like a few seconds or like, I think the maximum I say is like, oh my God, I can't believe I forgot the maximum. Is like 3 minutes, 5 minutes. I usually have a guideline myself. Can't remember my own guideline.
So seeing this, and I always bring up this question with our artists is talking about time, because if you have never done an animation or if you've never put together this or like all of those pieces, like I think it's very like good to be mindful of it. So for these types of shows, were you splicing these together yourself? Were you doing the editing of all the animations?
Well, what I do is because I have the performers too as well, and they have time frames as well. And the performers are like or usually I say 10 minutes or less. And the performers will tell me how long their act is, you know. So I would splice in that, and depending on what the theater wanted or how long, I usually try to keep it a 2-hour thing. That's long already, and usually you're getting quite a bit for your money. So I would I would actually have this time calculator thing on my computer. They had this free website thing where you could add it up individually, you know, like that. So it was really cool. I can actually do that. So some of it would be off, some of it would be a little more. But then, you know, if you do theater, you know, then you know sometimes technical fouls or someone will throw a fit or something. I don't know.
So how much of your physical time do you think that you put into a finished performance by the end of it?
Well, I'm not performing. I'm in the back crying somewhere.
I'm just talking about from organization to making animations to putting the animations together, for all the press releases and all of that stuff. How much of the physical time do you think that you threw into just one show?
A lot. I mean, I'm not good with numbers, but I'll tell you, it is way much more than what I got paid. And that's probably another reason why I could not afford a second hand or a third hand, you know? Because another thing is that I want creative freedom as well, a lot of this as well. But you know, so I would sacrifice on a lot of other stuff. Um, but yeah. So yeah, it's long. It is long sometimes, you know.
And
Burlesque, you know, and Leo the Human Gumby, Fred the Great Fredini, Chris the Wonder, oh my God, Amazing Amy. And one of the good things about being in Connecticut part was because you had Coney Island, where all the circus was, and a lot of other circus stuff in New York. And I've noticed that the people from Massachusetts actually wanted to see all the people from Coney Island too as well. So they would actually I actually had a lot of people from a state over just come to see my show instead of going over to there. So yeah.
sorry, it went back to your paintings. But now let me ask you this. How long does it usually take you from concept to completion for a painting?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm also not like, doing it on the full stretch. I take breaks and I, go to bed, go to work, go see my friends. Um, you know what? It's funny because everyone always asks me that. I think everyone always gets asked that, and I think because I decided one time to figure out. I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm just going to time one for myself. I'm actually going to physically time one, and I would write down the time frame of it. And I think most of these were about like an hour and a half for me from time frame. Now I'm not like stretching my own canvases. Um, but then there's some things that are different, like the dang this will never heal butt thing. That took me not that long. But then when I'm looking up reference for like the chicken dance by Henry Matisse, or maybe some things would be more detailed and stuff.
That's fabulous, by the way.
Yeah.
So the only reason I ask is because I ask these questions because when you talk to, I don't know how to explain it, like non-creative types, like unfortunately, like a lot of the universe doesn't appreciate how important art is to our culture and our communities. And so they want to weigh it in like hours. You know what I mean? Like it's like how many hours, what did you do? What is the value of doing that? And like when you have a piece that's even like this, it's connected to so much. Like this is your tree and your roots go very far and you have a lot of time put into that. It's not just like the physicality of like start to finish. I'm talking about like you had to know and learn what Matisse was and the chicken dance, both of those concepts. You know what I mean? Like, and you had to put it together in your brain as you were doing a circus show on all of those things. Like the weight of that is heavy and anchoring to like where you are here. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot. And the only reason I ask those questions is to be like, everyone out there that's watching and listening to you better
Mhm.
appreciate the value of who you are and what you make.
Yeah,
Or
and if you go,
else.
yeah,
Or else.
or else. No, no, you're right, and I do think, and that's one of the good things about you and everyone else is saying that, yeah, because we do a lot and we get a lot done, and we've also had so much time we put into this from, going to college or whatever, learning and everything, and that's how the value, And if I said that this painting probably took me 30 minutes, maybe, if I had a guess, by my brain, by how I'm doing it, because, I'm looking at Matisse, and I think, hey, I think maybe, Matisse might take 30 minutes on his painting too, if it wasn't so huge as well. But, because it just seems that way. You buy it because you want it and you like it. It's the same reason about the lost painting you could have gotten yourself, if you don't get it now, chances are you're going to totally regret it. If it spoke to you, if you liked it, then buy it. One of my favorite movies is Manos, The Hands of Fate. And I'm not talking about the Mystery Science Theater one. I'm talking about the original Manos one. I think that is like the simplicity of it and the music, the soundtrack of it, and just the way it is. And I'm sure it's all laid out in crap, but I like that movie. I enjoyed it. I have a copy of it, you know, so it means a lot to me. So, you know, that's all I can say. Matisse and Manos.
Can I ask you about, like, you make reproductions of your work to sell, like from a
Yes.
like in when we do shows, and I know that you haven't had the opportunity to be in our physical shows quite yet, right?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it will happen, I promise. But like it we very much encourage artists to make prints. Like when we have our shows, and there's still some artists that don't, it costs a lot of money to make prints and reproductions of your work, and like gamble with the fact that it may or may not sell. You know, can you talk about like the ways that you've worked with your artwork and like doing those types of things of like prints and like other types of post-production reproductions?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you want me to market myself, huh? All
Yeah.
right, here. So why don't
Yes.
we exit out of this?
Okay.
And I will show you something that I do. One of the things that that I make of reproductions of my artworks is magnets. It just came to me when I was walking down, like at home, like at Office Max or something. They had a packet of like these peel off adhesive magnets to put on photographs and stuff, you know. And I was actually working at a photo lab at the time, and I was like, you know, able to get free prints of my artwork. You know, I could actually go in the lab, photograph my artwork, you know, and everything like that. And cost production was pretty cheap and everything. And and then I tried it out with just like a couple of few I bought at Home Depot Office Max,
Mhm.
and it worked. A lot of people like it. So then I would just I would buy it wholesale from this company called wow, it's been a while. P. Laurelson Company out in Pennsylvania. These huge packages of because I was selling them. I'm really selling the magnets. So it's also, besides having them in some small stores and all over the place. You know, I would also sell them in museums and Walker Museum. Remind me to talk to you about Walker Museum before
Okay.
we end this conversation. That was the only other thing I wanted to talk about here. Um, but you know, they would buy wholesale, resale, and everything like that, and it was good. I was selling like hotcakes. I was doing art festivals. I was doing, you know, I would make a lot of money off of them, and the cost was fairly cheap to make. You know, because um, you know, but you know, then if you want to like go get professional stuff done and everything, yeah, it's going to get expensive. A lot of people have asked me about making magnets themselves, you know, and people have tried. Um, and I also think that it's not just the fact that, um, um, you know, my artwork was selling well on magnets, but in fact, it was the fact that it was my artwork that was selling well because it was on a magnet. Because some people's artwork may not work well on a magnet, you
Yep.
know, and it's not the fact that their artwork is bad. It's just the fact that no one wants their artwork on as a magnet, you know, on their fridge or on their locker or something, you know. It just depends on what works and stuff, you know. Production, yeah, it's pricey and everything, but keep an eye open, you know, or even better, you know, if you have to make smaller paintings or smaller, whatever you do, smaller sculptures, you know, get a rock and paint it. I don't know. There's a ton of rocks out there, you know, make a collection of paperweights. How many people use paperweights anymore, or doorstops, you know, maybe, You know, maybe if you go to like find like a wood shop and they have like a ton of all these woodchucks that they don't need anymore, and they just have to get rid of them. You know, hey, look what I got. You know, oh, speaking of found art and stuff like that. What's her name? You and I are swapping artwork for that art
Oh, yeah.
thing. I forgot
For
her
Marjorie
name.
Rose.
Yeah. So yeah, she just announced us as the so I already got mine all set up, but they probably don't know what I'm talking about out there in public. But
So Marjorie Rose is another artist, and she put together an art swap with artists so that like we will exchange boxes of art supplies, and then whatever artist wants to play, essentially you just get a box to kind of make some artwork with, and it's like ready to go.
definitely something fun to do.
I know, I know. I love that. Like that is my favoriteest thing. Like is when we get the opportunity to just collaborate and like help another artist out to be like, okay, we're here. We're gonna hold your hand and do whatever we need for whatever you want to try. Like totally there. So I'm really happy and I'm glad that like people signed up to give it a shot. So we'll see what
That's
kind
another,
of art.
yeah, that was one of the things when I moved here. I was like, I didn't know anybody here. I just knew my wife. So there was nobody I knew here. So I just had to like, you know, sneak my nose around, go into galleries and stuff, you know, try to go into shows like your shows and stuff and say, hi, my name's Tony. I'm an artist too, you know. And I'm not like 20 years old now, handsome and everything. I'm like 40 and flabby. So you know, I'm not really gonna be getting everybody's attention right away. So I do appreciate this again, Danielle.
Yeah,
You
of
mean so
course.
much to me, so thanks.
I'm glad that you found us. I mean, like we're not everyone's cup of tea, like, and I understand that, but I like our tea, you know, like I think in one of the other artist conversations that I had is that like your artwork is the artwork that I want. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and I was looking at all the artwork that you guys exhibit too, and show. I said, oh, these guys are great. These guys are right up my alley too. So yeah, I totally. So you know, I'm not like looking for people who are you know the minimalists and the conceptual artists. You know, not saying they're a bunch of bad people, but they're not gonna really gonna hang out with me and hang with my artwork and stuff. No offense to those I know,
The,
which I would like to. It's funny because the Walker Museum is mostly a conceptual artist out there. Now, I had a huge art exhibit for 6 months at a Walker Museum in Liverpool, England. It was probably like one of the best times of my life. I loved it out there. It was great. And and then when I heard that there was another Walker Museum out there in Minnesota, I was like, oh, it's the same people I thought. Because you know the Walker Museum is the
sorry.
Walker Museum is see automatically the Walker Museum in Liverpool, England. I should say Liverpool, UK, was just like old Renaissance and new paintings and traditional artwork and a lot of stuff like that. You know, more paintings. And I was in an art group at the time called Stuckism, which is not too far off like the artwork otherworldly artists are doing as well. So that's how you know. And then when I went down to the Walker, I was like, well, they can't be the same thing. Maybe it's just something different, you know. So I asked one of the people around, and I actually asked a bit. I want to make sure, like, are they related? You know, is it the same Walker person, Mr. and Mrs. Walker? Nope, just happen to have the same name, the Walker, the Walker. Nothing else, nothing else in common.
No.
Not one bit. So when you see in my, I think my about page, you don't have to go to that. Trust me, you don't have to go to
Okay.
that. Then it says some of the exhibits, the Walker. It's not the Walker in Minneapolis. It's the Walker in Liverpool. So and I thought it was funny.
Yeah. I want to go to
I
it
love
now.
how this cup looks like huge. It looks,
You're very thirsty.
it's like even bigger than my head. Oh my God, it doesn't even look any different.
Yep. I'm gonna hop over to your Instagram just so people like know where it is.
Hey, there's Instagram.
It's OKTONY J. That's the icon.
Yeah, most of all the other Instagram stuff is just the other social media is just like, what do you call it? I don't even know how to explain it. It's not my personal stuff. You're not going to hear me rant and stuff. It's just going to be like maybe some little other tidbits and stuff, like when I wore my mask as a shadow for COVID. But you know, like they actually, I noticed there are actually, you know, the Dark Fest thing right here. And I didn't know if I was allowed to, because some people are very upset if I do this. I was like in an art exhibit with you guys at the Dark Fest night, and I wanted to have something on it for Instagram. I think, you know, so.
Yeah, you can always take anything that we have and use it for promotion. We are not, we know we don't. I shouldn't say we don't care. We care. We want everything.
But do you mind if I manipulated it as well? Because that's what I had to do. You know, because like I said, I don't have I have a smartphone, but I refuse to have the internet on it. So I actually go through my Photoshop and crop all the, as you can see, some of the artwork.
Oh no,
Yeah.
centipede.
Oh yeah, the Keith Haring digital one.
It's so funny.
Trying to think. Yeah, pictures of my studio. Oh,
Nice hopper.
yeah, Nighthawks at the truck stop. Yeah. Where was that? That was like in Milford, Connecticut. God.
So, Tony, we're almost at the end of our time, and I want to talk to you about, just because that like other people haven't had the chance to like meet you in real life and stuff, like when it is time to meet in real life, how comfortable are you for other artists coming up and talking to you and asking you questions?
Oh, please do, because ask me anything. I don't get offended at all or anything. Don't worry about it. Please come and talk to me. If you don't, you know, I'm probably more than likely going to avoid you because, or at least not avoid you, just I have a hard time talking to people. Like I said, I'm here for the show, or, you know, so please do. If you got the kahunas to come up and slam a brick on my head and to start up a conversation, please do. I will admire you that forever, because I can't do it.
And then, since we aren't in real life completely yet, through the internet, how is the best way to start a conversation with you? Is it on Instagram? Is it email? Like, should people go to your, like, do you have a contact to?
Yeah, I got a contact page right there. It's just my email. Oh, my oddities still haven't done it yet. The idea, if you go to my homepage, there's like all those freaking, you know, that's my blog. My home page has all those Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you know, Wikipedia, Vimeo, whatever. But honestly, I'm like probably everyone else, addicted. You know what? Since I don't know everyone right away, and I don't want bombarded by everybody, just the social medias are fine. Just the ones you see on my homepage are fine now, or my email's fine. You know, whatever you can find. I don't know why it's so hard to figure out what way to contact me, is because there's so many ways to freaking contact me. If I didn't leave a way for you to contact me, then technically it won't be able to contact you. I don't know.
And
I'll tell you the people I'm liking a lot on here, if you want me to tell you that. I mean, some of this stuff is great.
I know that we have yours on here, but
yeah, I saw, yeah, the you know.
I don't know how to do it though. I feel really bad because like,
no, it's okay.
Renee usually does it. Let's see if I can do it now. There it is. And Heather. There's other people that Instagram for me because I'm really bad at it. It'll come up.
I don't, it's funny how it's always different. It just, especially when you're starting a new social media. Actually, I think I don't know.
There it is.
Oh, that guy. Oh, yeah. Goya.
So, whoops. Okay. Of course, I find it and then I lost it again. So I just wanted to bring it up so that people remember it from Christmas. We had the Darkest Night Legends, and Tony was our fan favorite. And so, like, you got a lot of people that were very interested in this piece, and we were laughing about it ourselves. So I just wanted to like throw it out there.
My mother didn't like that painting.
What?
No, she didn't like the
Sorry,
painting.
Mom.
I don't think she does. I don't know. But someone out there doesn't like it. Santa eating his own elves. Actually, I had an original concept that my landlord actually bought. It was called Santa Devouring the Children. Because I think in the original Goya one, it was his son.
Yeah.
So I had Santa devouring the children. So my landlord liked it. Month rent free. So,
Oops, let me see if I can get out of there. Go back to Tony. Nope. Fine. I'm gonna go here instead.
yeah, never mind. I'll just be babbling on forever.
No.
Wait, is there something coming up I'm doing? I should probably say something about that. I would have if I'm actually doing something. If it wasn't for COVID, I'd probably be about this time telling you about what I'm doing. But I would like to say one thing real quick is that please, everyone, keep an eye on me for Forgot to Laugh, because eventually, COVID will become no more around here. We'll get the whole thing under control, and I will start up Forgot to Laugh again. Forgot to Laugh Sideshow and Animation Festival. So I strongly suggest test that out, and keep an eye on my website as well for the news page. Other than that, I'll just be sitting here reading books, watching movies.
You do have a couple questions in the that I can kind of see, but I think I'm going to let you answer them on your own afterwards.
Okay.
And then I was going to tell you that I'm very interested. I don't know if you know that Juan and I are huge Star Wars people in the Yoda Lisa.
I'm giving you as a gift right here through the internet world. I think it should be coming soon. Hey, look at that. It worked. How about that?
Love it so much, Tony.
You're welcome.
It's so great.
It's
so
a magnet.
These are Tony's magnets that you guys can purchase.
Drinking like it's water.
See? It's so fabulous. It's gonna live on my fridge forever and ever and ever. So
best ones are the ones where I walk into strangers' houses and I see my magnets on their fridge. That's a good feeling. Well, thank you again, Danielle. Yes. Oh, you had questions or someone had questions.
There is a couple questions. I'm going to grab Natalie's at the end. Is why is the time cap? It's because that we can upload it to other platforms. That's why. So like Instagram and other different social medias, if you wanted to use your LinkedIn, under an hour is where everybody wants to stay. But you have a couple questions on there that I'm going to let you answer, and then we're going to call it a night, I think. Tony, is there anything that you want to like say for like the last little bit?
Nope.
No. And then everyone else that's watching, you better go and follow Tony on Instagram and check out his website. And then you are also on, let's see. Okay, Tony. There we go.
OKTONY.com.
Okay, Tony.
Very easy.
Okay, and then we will one day get to meet in real life and like high five.
There, well, I'll remember that. I'll remember the big high five. First thing, high five. Boom.
High five. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. And if, let's see, oops, there we go. Okay. Well, Tony, thank you so much for doing this. It's really been awesome to meet you, and it's awesome to meet you like just because that like this isn't under normal circumstances of how we have met our artists. And I'm very happy that you found us. Like I am happy that we both shared the same cup of tea.
Thank you. Yes, I do. I enjoy the artwork you guys share and stuff, and that's how I gravitated to you guys.
Well, I hope that you have a wonderful Sunday, and I hope everyone out there had a wonderful Sunday, and you should go and say hello to Tony.
Hi. Say hi. Online first. We'll do the whole picnic thing and everything else later.
Okay. All right. Bye, Tony. Thank you so much.